China Current is a weekly news talk show from China to the world. We cover viral news about China every week and also give you the newest updates on China's cutting-edge technologies. Let's get started.
Welcome to China Currents, your weekly news report on the latest developments in China. I'm Mimi, and in this episode, Trump chickened out in tariff war, China deepens cooperation with Latin America, Pakistan's victory boosts China's stock market, Huawei challenges Microsoft's monopoly, the new breakthrough of China's brain-computer interface technology, China builds stronger quantum computer to save more lives. First, the ceasefire of the tariff war. On May 12th, the United States and China issued a joint statement in Geneva. Both countries agreed to permanently eliminate 91% of their respective tariffs and suspend 24% until August 10th. As a result, China now imposes a 10% tariff on U.S. products, while U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods remain at 30%. A combination of the 10% universal tariff applied to all imports and an additional 20% related to the fentanyl issue that Trump has previously hyped. While Trump might claim a victory on tariffs, financial markets appear to interpret the outcome as a capitulation. As The Guardian noted, the U.S. is not returning to the pre-Trump status quo. The White House hailed the importance of a sustainable, long-term, and mutually beneficial economic and trade relationship. The language was rather different to Trump's Liberation Day speech about the U.S. being raped by nations near and far. In other words, Trump has learned how to moan. The dire warnings from retailers about empty shelves may have contributed to this miracle. On May 10th, CNN also reported that America's busiest ports have seen steep declines in traffic. Cargo volume at Long Beach is reportedly down 35 to 40%, while the Port of Los Angeles saw a 31% drop in shipments. On May 8, Trump addressed the situation at U.S. ports, calling the slowdown a good thing because, in his words, we lose less money. He made no mention of the fact that China accounted for 1/3 of U.S. seaborne imports in March and helped drive near-record ocean freight volumes earlier this year. This collapse in trade is now costing jobs, particularly among longshoremen and truck drivers. Sal Di Contanza, port liaison for the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, told CNBC, "Just today, we had somewhere north of 235 members who sought work but were not able to get it." According to FreightWaves, freight truck activity is now converging downward toward 2020 lockdown levels. Last month, Mack Trucks announced it will lay off 350 workers. Davis Express, a family-owned trucking company in Florida, announced it would shut down after 44 years in business, leaving 117 truck drivers suddenly unemployed. Trump may have the luxury of reversing course on tariffs from the comfort of the Oval Office. However, for the workers affected by these policy swings, longshoremen, truck drivers, small business owners, can they get new jobs in the White House? On the other hand, China is still keeping 10 to 15% tariffs focused on U.S. agricultural products, meat, dairy, and timber, industries largely based in Trump-supporting regions. If Trump and J.D. Vance really care about U.S. workers, they had better remain respectful to China. Next, good news for other countries in the Americas. On May 13th, the fourth ministerial meeting of the Forum of China and Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, was held in Beijing. Chinese President Xi Jinping attended the opening ceremony and delivered a speech. He noted that to support development in the region, China will provide over $9.1 billion in credit financing and offer 3,500 government scholarships and 10,000 training opportunities in China over the next 3 years. At present, within the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative, China and Latin America have implemented more than 200 infrastructure projects, such as Chancay Port, creating millions of jobs. Last year, trade between China and Latin America surpassed $500 billion for the first time, more than 40 times the volume of the year 2000. Through trade with Brazil, Argentina, and other Latin American countries, China has greatly reduced its dependence on American agricultural products. At the end of the speech, Xi quoted a Latin American saying, "A friend is a treasure." He stressed that no matter how the international situation changes, China will always be a good friend and partner of Latin American and Caribbean countries. Next up, let's congratulate Pakistan. On May 7th, Pakistan shot down 5 Indian fighter jets without any loss. Pakistani Defense Minister told Reuters that their pilots achieved this glory with Chinese-built J-10 fighter jets. Following the statement on May 12th, shares of Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, the manufacturer of J-10, surged by nearly 20%. Indian media always vowed that French jets are more powerful than China-made, but now it seems that the only advantage of the Rafale over the J-10 may be its price. According to the War Zone, Pakistan's secret weapon is a Chinese PL-15E air-to-air missile. In terms of range, PL-15E is nearly 50% longer than the Meteor missile equipped on the Indian Rafale fighter jets. Nikkei Asia noted that Chinese weapons have long been criticized for lacking real battlefield validation. Now, with the courage and skills of Pakistani pilots, Chinese engineers have proved themselves. Moving on. On May 8th, Huawei launched its first personal computer powered by Harmony OS, China's domestically developed operating system. This marks the system's expansion from mobile devices into the PC market. Back on October 22, 2024, Huawei unveiled Harmony OS Next, the world's third major mobile operating system after Apple's iOS and Google's Android. While the original Harmony OS debuted in 2019, it relied partially on the Android Open Source Project, AOSP, a part of the Android operating system ecosystem. In contrast, Harmony OS Next is built by Chinese developers from the ground up, offering significant improvements in both performance and security. For decades, the desktop operating system market, especially in China, has been monopolized by Microsoft. In 2019, Windows accounted for 88% of China's desktop OS market share. In 2025, Chinese police released an investigation into cyber attacks that occurred during the Asian Winter Games. According to Chinese cybersecurity experts, the US National Security Agency allegedly transmitted encrypted data packets to specific devices running Microsoft Windows in China's Heilongjiang province. These packets may have been designed to activate pre-installed backdoors in the Windows system, triggering a series of remote attacks. The launch of a Chinese-made PC operating system is seen as a major step towards securing the nation's digital infrastructure. Today, the Harmony OS ecosystem has surpassed 1 billion connected devices. The platform boasts over 7.2 million registered developers, more than 110 million lines of code, and full-stack autonomy, spanning the OS kernel, file systems, programming languages, AI frameworks, and large model support. Moving on. On May 8th, Shanghai StairMed Technology announced that its invasive brain-computer interface, BCI, device has entered clinical trials, making it the second company in the world after Elon Musk's Neuralink to reach this stage in invasive BCI development. In a demonstration video released by the company, a test subject who has lost all 4 limbs in an accident is seen playing Mario Kart using nothing but his mind. By simply staring at the screen, he is able to steer the virtual race car via the implanted brain interface. No joystick, no controller, just pure thought. According to the paper, StairMed implanted 2 ultra-thin electrodes, each just 1/100th the width of a human hair, into the brain. These devices are connected to a coin-sized device embedded in the skull, which decodes neural signals and transmits them to external systems. Compared to Neuralink, StairMed's implant is about half as thin, and its neural electrodes are currently the smallest in the world, potentially minimizing damage to brain tissue. Professor Zhao from the Chinese Academy of Sciences noted that the trials are being conducted under the same regulatory standards required for medical device registration in China, aiming to bring the technology into actual clinical use. In March, China's National Healthcare Security Administration released a pricing guideline for neural system care services, specifying brain-computer interfaces as an independent category, effectively paving the way for this cutting-edge technology to benefit more patients in the future. Next up, on May 6th, Chinese scientists unveiled China's fourth-generation quantum computing measurement and control system, capable of supporting over 500 qubits. Often thought of as a neural hub of a quantum computer, the measurement and control system is responsible for generating, capturing, and regulating the precise signals that drive quantum chips. Powered by the system, quantum computers can offer computation speeds far beyond those of their classic counterparts. In 2023, Google introduced a 70-qubit quantum computer that can complete a calculation in mere seconds and take the world's most advanced supercomputer over 50 years. Thanks to this extraordinary computation capability, quantum computers play a pivotal role in biopharmaceutical research. This is because drug development relies heavily on massive data analysis and complex molecular simulations, tasks that traditional computers cannot process efficiently due to their limited power. On April 24th, Chinese scientists successfully demonstrated the use of its third-generation superconducting quantum computer, 本源悟空, in breast cancer detection. It effectively improves diagnostic accuracy, significantly reducing false positives and missed diagnoses. Additionally, scientists use the quantum system to complete validations in other biomedical applications, including small molecule drug design and crystal structure prediction. According to the chief scientist at Origin Quantum, the company behind the technology, the third-generation quantum computer 本源悟空, has already completed over 380,000 quantum computing tasks for more than 26 million users across 139 countries and regions. Its capabilities are being applied in finance, biomedicine, fluid dynamics, and more. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this episode of China Currents. If you have any thoughts or comments, please leave them below. See you next time.